Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to JBPG City for our City Skylines mass transit playthrough. And Workman Park is really starting to take a bit of shape, and you may well have spotted we have a monorail connection in here as well now, and this kind of runs through that little two-space gap that I created between the blocks. It's running through that gap there, across here, and then links up with the road over here. So basically I upgraded this single lane road that we had here just to get a monorail going above it, and then it links up to the bit over here where we have our station that we put in just recently. So there's no train running on the service yet, or no service running on the line yet, so we need to implement that now. So let's start here. And we'll get that to run to there. And then back again. And we've got a hub over here. How many lines do we have going into the hub? Just the two at the moment. There's nothing going in on the other platform. Excellent. Okay, so I'm actually going to relocate our green line. I think. Is that the one I need to move? Yes, it is. So let's grab hold of this. That's the blue line. Damn it, I want to grab the green one. I'm going to have to delete the line. It's the quickest and easiest way to do it. So, we want to start here. And we want to run into here. We're going to change the colours of the line in a moment. That's going to run from there to there, like so. And then, where is the other one? It's there. So we need to add a stop in here. Get that to run to there like that. And back again. There we go. So we may possibly get a little bit of queuing going on with a couple of the stations. This one here might queue a little bit. And this one here might queue a little bit now that we're adding in those additional lines. You can see got a couple of trains queuing up here. They're all the same one, aren't they? They're all the same colour. So let's go into the service. Let's tinker with this a little bit, and let's turn the number of trains down a little bit on this one here. Let's go to 4, and we'll go with a nice green colour like that. There we go. Now let's work on these ones over here. So we've got 2 trains here. Let's modify this line. This one has 2 running at the moment, so this will be the short one. Let's make that 3. And this is going to be one of our industrial lines, so I want this to be yellow. There we go. And where's the other one? Is the other one queuing? Yeah, I guess the other one's queuing. We'll wait for that to come through. Here it comes. So we'll pause that. Just select this one here. Going to modify this line. This is 3 running as well. That's fine. Let's change the colour of this one to... That doesn't look very yellow at all, does it? Yeah, that's a bit better, I suppose. There we go. That'll do. So we have those 2 running. If I come over here and inspect this one here, that has 2 trains running. I'm not sure where that one's running to, so we'll just follow this one for a second. Okay, so yeah, we can leave that one that colour, that's fine. There are a couple of gold trains already running on this line somewhere that I need to find. I might have recoloured them already. Or maybe it's on this section here. Ah, yeah, there it is. And that's running a pale blue colour. Okay, so I think if I go to inspect the lines this way, yeah, they're okay. So the only yellow trains we have are the 2 that run to the industrial zone. So we now have a great way to get workers in and out of Workman Industrial. And you can see I've put down some footpaths as well on the short road that came in just to feed the station. So I've got a footpath there which goes off to that section. I've put a nice little set of zebra crossings just there to help people disperse that way. And then coming out this way, they can come along here. We're a bit far from a junction, but you know, you get the idea. I suppose I could I could always put in a road down like that. Yeah, I'll do that. Make that a bi-directional road. And there we go, that should help pedestrians move around a little bit better as well. We'll just plonk in. Actually, how about we improve the the area a little bit with some plazas? One there and one there. Okay. And that's immediately getting some upgrades pinging away, as you can see. Very nice. I've also relocated the statue, as you can see. That's now here on the sort of exit out to the freeway over there. A little bit of traffic queuing, but that's just simply because of the traffic lights. It's not a problem. This area, still don't know what to do with this. I've still got some industry in here. Still umming and ahhing whether to get rid of it completely. I have been toying with the idea of completely ripping up this junction and just reworking it. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I'm thinking of having, because a lot of the traffic does kind of want to go straight on, and then a lot of traffic from this way does just want to go that way. So I'm thinking maybe just have a straight road that connects all the way through the middle like that, and then have some kind of raised flyover just to deal with this bit. And then we can keep the bulk of traffic going through there without the need to tag the roundabout. So it kind of becomes like almost like the Lucas Loop, where the main freeway just carries on underneath. This is just getting ridiculously busy. Ridiculously busy, as you can see. Just not able to move the traffic through at a fast enough rate. I wonder if again, a lot of the traffic that comes into the Lucas Loop is traffic that wants to go down there, so may need to rework the Lucas Loop a bit to try and help alleviate some of that. Maybe even have an off-ramp just here to feed in this way before we hit the Lucas Loop. That might be something that could possibly be done, in which case we could rip up this area, which is going to get reworked anyway. We could rip up some of this and then have an off-ramp that then comes here, feeds into the roundabout, and also feeds into the bridge to go to the industry estate there as well. That might be the better way to go. So I'll probably end up sort of playing around with that off camera so that I can take my time and make sure that it works. And always, if it doesn't work, I can roll it back, so it's not an issue. But yeah, the Workman Industrial Park, as you can see, running very smoothly. The one-way system's working really, really well. And I like the way the industry's working so much. What I've gone ahead is I've kind of created Ivy Square over here, and this is going to be a lumber industry. Now, there's no trees in the area at the moment, so I mean, I could make it a lumber industry, but we wouldn't get any lumber buildings unless we cheat the system a little bit. There is a way to kind of convince it that it should be an area that's good for logging. And the easiest way to do that is simply to go into your placeables, into your terraforming options, and choose your trees, and just plonk a ton of trees down. So let's see, tree with leaves. Just basically, I'm just going to fill this area with a ton of trees like this. It's going to take a few moments. If I plonk a lot of trees around this area here like this, it creates this as a high density tree area, which makes it something that becomes ideal for putting in logging, as you'll see in a moment. So if we go to Info Views and we look for the Resources tab, now you can see where I've placed those trees. We actually have a good forestry unit area. Whereas before it was just white. Now you can see it's that. I didn't realise we had fertile land over here. Could maybe put a farm in there. Where else could we put a farm? You can see here that's an incredibly dense forest area, and it's just off the border as well, so we can't really use it. And there again you can see the effect of us plonking down those manual trees, and same over here with the NAF forest. Power issues again. The industry's burning through our supply of available power. That's a really strong area of land that we could potentially have turned into a farm. I don't really want to put a farm slap bang on the highway like that, but I don't know, maybe we could do something. These power issues. So frustrating. Right, let me check my budget. Daytime power budget, it's at 150, so yeah, our consumption is just very, very high at the moment. We've got a lot of industry. That was going to draw quite a lot of power. Is the district running the power conservation policy? It looks like it is. Yeah, it is. They should all be running power conservation. Yes, they are. Very odd. This stuff in there won't be. So let's extend this up a bit. Get those buildings covered. And then I just need to tidy this up a bit. So I can tag these buildings again. There we go. So that'll include those buildings. Have I got anything else that's not... Oh, this isn't in power conservation, is it? Okay, we can deal with that. We can turn this into a little district. To try and put power conservation in through here. And also so we can kind of put a name to our pumping area. There we go. And let's extend this down a bit so that it's covering the solar plants as well. There we go. Alright, yeah, there we go. Happy with that. Everywhere else appears to be covered. Apart from disaster relief over here. I suppose we could make that part of Holly Heights. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it part of Holly Heights. So again, let me straighten up my cursor. There we go. See, there's our traffic problems that we're having. Really getting quite bad on the Lucas Loop now. I mean, we've got a lot more traffic in the city as well. You can see we're up to 82,500 people. So it's inevitably going to cause some teething problems. But this area here, the traffic flow around here is brilliant. You know, this is the busiest part of that road, just here. Simply with the traffic just queuing up to use that exit. Everywhere else it's absolutely fine. And even then those queues are very, very short because it's all fast moving. There's nothing built alongside. There's no conflict of direction. As you can see, it's all very, very smooth, very, very neat and tidy. And yeah, the traffic lights just manage the direction of everything really handily. So we don't have any problems whatsoever. It just flows really, really nice. And having this one-way system around here works really, really beautifully as well. And there you can see stuff coming in and out of the cargo area, the rail cargo hub. It just works. And it works very nicely. So I'm very pleased with that. But yeah, going back over here, as you can see, Ivy Square, I created a little one-way section. So we've got 2-lane roads along here, switching to one-way with you know, bi-directional side streets for turning around and getting back out again. And then just a little loop, a little one-way loop just there, look. And then it also extends out here a bit more, comes down as one-way and feeds back out that way. And then going underneath, we have a slip road bridge, goes under the road, and I would have done it over the top, but the railway was too close. and then comes back up there. And then I put a little slip road in just there as well, and then that feeds directly over to the rail hub just there. And then if they want to come out, they can either go out this way and feed into this area, or they can just follow the slip road there up to Julie Lee Way, and either come back down this way and then back into the estate that way, or just go straight for the freeway like that. And again, it all just flows and works really, really well. So we're going to create a forestry area, as I said, over here. Let's finish adding in some more trees, just to really improve the performance of this area as a forestry area. So I just need to really pepper this area with trees here in the middle, because this is going to be my main block, where we're going to have a lot of the forestry kind of buildings, and then it'll mainly be sort of warehousing in the other areas. Let's put a load along this section just here as well. Just got to really hammer in these trees. If we go back to our info views now, there you can see the effect that those trees have had, creating a very dense forestry, ideal area just there. So the district's already been drawn, but we do need to add a specialisation to it. So there we go. Ivy Square is now a forestry industry. So let's actually zone some industry in. I've already connected up the water. I do need to connect power though, potentially. We do have these power lines here, so depending on how quickly this area fills up, we might be okay running off that. And I do find that these keep, the last one kept turning itself off as well. I don't know why they keep doing that. Maybe it's a power thing. Let's just empty my graveyards. My graveyards are all filling up really quickly all the time. Another one somewhere that's emptying, I'm sure I do. Unless I've already emptied. I might have already stopped that from emptying. There it is. I had a feeling there was a second one. There we go. So, yeah, it's all coming together quite nicely. How is stuff going on over here? There you can see, look, the blocks of buildings that have gone in that are very much tree buildings, actual businesses rather than just generic trees that have been placed. These are all businesses, as you can see. And some bushes going in just there as well, and then the odd warehouse popping up. Of course, it does make this area highly flammable, so if we get a lightning strike, the whole lot's going to go up very, very quickly. So we might need to add in a secondary fire service, and I'm thinking of putting those on just here. A little small police and fire down here. Same with medical centre, etc. And medical. Perfect. There we go. And also, by having these buildings here, these never abandon. These never get, I mean, they get destroyed, obviously, if there's a disaster of some kind, but they never get abandoned, so they just stay there permanently, and they act as a buffer now, a power connector from the lines into the district. So I won't have to worry about buildings getting abandoned and breaking the connection to this district now, because they will always be fed in through those three just there. As long as the stuff all the way around these three buildings doesn't disappear, then we should be fine. There we go, that's Ivy Square. I suppose we could bring the monorail over as well, couldn't we? Choices, choices, choices. Do I bring the monorail around the back? Let's take a look at doing that. I might not do this, but let me just take a look at it. So if I were to bring this out this way, like so. That got a little bit too far by the look of it. Oh, it's a height thing because it goes up that ridge. Ah, that's what it is. Okay. Forgot about that. So I'd need to raise the height up a bit. There we go. Kind of want that to sweep around a bit. Just looking at the pillars. That's the problem. Making sure the pillars don't stop in the road. And then we could bring this in and put a stop in just here perhaps. So we're going to want a station. Station with road. I think that's a hub. Don't want a hub. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Monorail station. Put a station there. Straight line it a bit. And connect the corner up like that. There we go. And then these lines that we've got going into this station, we can edit these the same way that we do with bus lines. So we can grab that and just drag it into there. Like that. And then just add stops. I need to move the other line out of the way, I think. There we go. Now, do I need to put a stop in each direction? Add a stop. Add a stop. Yeah, I do need to put a stop in each direction. And now I can't actually select the line. Oh, there we go. Add a stop. So let's see. We should hopefully now. That's the light yellow. Let's wait for the dark yellow. That one's whizzed straight through. Alright, just to make this a little bit easier on myself, just going to temporarily change the colour of this line, just so I can see which one actually needs stops. It looks as though they should now both be good. So I need to see an orange train stop on the other line. And it didn't. Okay, so we need to put a stop in for the orange train on the other line. Let's go back into the routes. It's going to let me select the orange line. Yes, it is. Stop added, I hope. That one's whizzed through again. Ah, there we go. So the orange one stopped this time. Just double check I haven't broken the line. Yellow on both. Orange on both. Excellent. Okay, so let's change the colour of that line back again. And there we go. We have monorail running into both of those areas. There's no power over there yet, so let's add in a little bit more zoning to connect that over. All these businesses are failing at the moment. We do need some additional workers in that area, which is why I put the monorail in to create a transport link. Try and make sure that that doesn't happen again. We'll keep an eye on that. Over here in Workman, that's all running really smoothly. I did add in services down here, as you saw, with a couple of different power recycling plants just there as well, the incinerator plants. Oh, we have a train coming in. Is that going to go back out again? It is. Oh, it's going out that way. Is it going to go off out directly, or is it going to go up? Oh, it's going over. It's that area up there, look. Sunrise Heights. Excellent. Oh, look at that. The other train that we saw coming in is going out this way. And that's going over to Holly Heights. So excellent. We are getting a good distribution of goods between our zones, which is what I had hoped we would see. And is definitely turning out to be the case. Look at the traffic coming in. Brilliant. It's using the system absolutely perfectly. Coming in here, spreading out and splitting off. We've got access to the rail hub there. You can see a lot of traffic just immediately goes straight for the freeway connection. And what I've noticed is that some of it then loops back in this way. And it'll split. And some of it will go that way. Some of it will go across the bridge. Some of it then comes back in this way to get back into the industry sector again. So this truck here is now stopping just there. And that one came from here. I mean, it could have gone down there and followed the road network around that way and then come back out again, but it figured that the freeway was quicker, which is great, again, because it's keeping traffic out of the park that doesn't need to be in the park. It's keeping things moving at the right speed. I don't need to worry about footpaths around here because, you know, we've got crossings and short routes. You know, it's really easy to move people around in here, so I don't need to put any custom footpaths in. There's no point. Wouldn't really achieve anything. So that's all running very, very nicely indeed. So the next big job now is going to be to finish this bit of freeway over here. Oh, wow. Getting a bit busy down here, look. It's all traffic that's wanting to stay in that middle lane. Doesn't need to turn off there yet because there's nothing in there apart from the bin trucks. and it comes along to there, and obviously you've got the chance to get onto the main road there. So we are getting periods when the traffic gets very, very busy, and then it kind of dies off a bit, then it gets very busy again and dies off again. It's kind of interesting to see that happening. Yeah, a lot of these businesses, again, still struggling to get people in them. We do need to put in more residential. We do have a demand for it. I don't really think residential over here is going to help. But I am toying with the idea of just clearing that area off completely. I think we'll do that. Let's just dezone the remnants of this park over here. Like that. We'll keep the power there. We'll keep Binney Lane there for now, but we may well relocate Binney Lane as well over to this big park area over here, just so it, you know, our main sort of trash area is going to be, you know, close to a big freeway connection, which can then spread off wherever it needs to go and deliver trash trucks wherever they're needed. So we may well move that over there. This industrial park, I'm going to rip up most of what's left. Let's go to the plaza. Look out these pathways, don't need these here anymore. What's left over? Oh, just a single building. So yeah, we'll kind of rework this area here. What I'll do is off camera, I'm going to completely rework this. I'm going to take this section out here. I'm going to put in an overpass, and then what I'll do is I'll try and connect it to this. So this road will extend out over the top of Holly Heights to our intersection here, and then we'll bring that in this way and down into this area. We'll probably make this residential around here. We'll move the power plants and we'll move Binney Street, and I want to rework this as well. So as I say, I want this to be basically straighten this out and just a straight through road like that, and then have a raised roundabout to siphon off traffic over this way. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. That, or just keep it, actually I might just keep it high, raised through there, and then just have a low level roundabout. That way I can leave the roundabout itself in place and then just change everything else, but keep the main freeway running smooth across the top of it. So that's probably what I'll do, and then have that coming down to ground level for that roundabout just there, because that one's absolutely fine. So got a few things that I need to kind of play around with, and that'll all happen sort of between episodes. So that, because it'll take me a while to get all that exactly figured out, and I don't want to waste the entire episode just sitting there scratching my head thinking, how do I do this, how do I do this? I am going to take out this road section though. We don't need this here anymore. Oh, I've got bus line on here still, haven't I? Delete the whole line. There we go. It was just feeding this area. And seeing as this area doesn't exist anymore, we don't need it anymore. And do need to change the roads over here temporarily. Because of the power. So let me go to upgrade. Just change that to standard road like that. There we go, and I'll leave that bit there because that's an underground connection which is allowing traffic to go straight to the industry area there. So we'll leave that for now. Let's make a start on getting this bit done. So I need that to be straight across here. So let me see. Oh, that needs to be raised, doesn't it? Is that high enough? Yes, it is. Have a very simple box like that. Ooh, that looks a bit ugly. Yeah, let's rework that. Take it to there, go down. Ah, too many options to snap to. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. Let's do the same on this end. So go down one. Again, too many road options to snap to. I hate when it gets confused like this and it won't snap. It'll snap to every option except the one you want it to. There we go. Damn it, I had it then, and then I dropped it down an extra level where I needed it to be, and now I can't select it again. Alright, screw it, I'll just have to be a little bit shorter on that one. We'll match it up on the opposite side. There we go. Perfect. So, we've got our basic junction. Now I need this to connect to there. Okay. That should work. And then that needs to come down to the roundabout. And this one I'm going to be a little bit different with the way I do this one. Okay, now we need to start upgrading some of this. So I want slip roads. Just pause for a second. There we go. I want 2-lane highway on these bits. I want this to be oh no, I want that to be 2-way highway. There we go, feeding to the power plants and then the roundabout. And hopefully that'll be a slightly quicker route and a more interesting route for the traffic, in terms of it'll pique their interest and they'll take that route. Make that a double lane bridge across there. There we go. Need to change direction on some of these bits now, so change that. Oh, smaller road, it just makes it easier to see what I'm doing. That's all facing the right way. That needs to change. That's okay. That's facing the right way, and that's bi-directional. Alright. Let's see. How quickly does traffic engage with that? We've got big queues, and some of these will already have predetermined routes, so they won't be using it. Like the stuff that's already in the middle lane will stay in the middle lane, they're not suddenly going to veer off. But other traffic will now be able to start taking advantage of that straight away. And hopefully this is going to lessen the traffic a lot in terms of what's using the Lucas loop. Because some of the stuff that wants to come in over here now has a route where it can do that. It doesn't have to go up to the Lucas loop and then along here and then down this way to get to Holly Heights, you know, which would then, you know, get to there and then in there and then in there and through there, yeah, or through this section here and then out that way. It gives multiple choices as how they want to go now. So I'm hoping that that's going to improve things. That is bi-directional, isn't it? Yes, it is. So it'll take a little bit of time for that to shake out. And of course, I still need to sort of rework this area over here. And once that's done, I'm pretty sure things will speed up a little bit. Still getting a lot of traffic that wants to turn right on the roundabout. But again, I'm hoping that as this starts to clear through, this is what I was worried about, that we might see a backlog over here. Maybe what I need to do, and this is why I built it on a really shallow angle, so that I could come in and do this afterwards if I needed to. Just basically do that. And then let's go back to freeway options. That's going to confuse the hell out of some of the traffic there for a second. How well is this going to work? Now you see, a lot of the traffic's diverting there and it's not even hitting the Lucas loop. So it is doing its job, it's just not doing it very well, because it's kind of a bodged, very quick sort of proof of concept junction here. So that needs to be reworked as well. But we know it works. And you can see the traffic is really starting to queue up quite a lot around here now. So I'll keep an eye on this, watch it run in the background for a little while and see how it all kind of shakes itself out. And then I'll redesign this intersection here, and I'll redesign this area here, and try and put it all together in a nice, smooth, easy to work system. We'll see how that goes. Right, subscriber name time now. Last time out I said I was going to add Dion this episode because he wanted an office district. While I went ahead and between episodes I also rezoned Hemlock District. So Hemlock District is now pretty much entirely offices. I also went in and I changed some of this stuff to remove some offices and put in some extra commercial, like this block here. That was all office, and I took that out and made that commercial. This was offices around here. I've made that commercial, and for some reason that bit there didn't get zoned. Let's do that now. And in other places I just took a little bits of office out and put a bit more commercial in to balance things out a little bit. And there we go, we now have this district which is purely office. So that's worked out quite nicely. So let's rename Hemlock District for Dion. Just checking spelling. And there we go, we have the Van Leeuwen Business Park. Apologies if I pronounced your name wrong there, Dion, but I did my best. So there we go, fantastic. We have another new district named, and it's a nice little office block park just here, which is quite close to our monorail connection just there, which is quite handy. And then we're not too far from the main hub just over there as well. And then obviously it's a nice little link through to our two industry areas over here, Ivy Square and the Workman Industrial Park, which no longer exists just here. Let's get rid of that district now while I think about it. Let's take that out completely. There we go. Right, so that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob. I'll leave you with some shots of our newly expanded industry areas. There we go. And I'll be back with another episode of JBPG City and our Mass Transit City Skylines playthrough very soon.